Before we get into this episode, I just want to let you know that 101 Part-Time Jobs is all about supporting and contributing to this culture we love. We want to support alternative and independent artists. We ourselves are an independent podcast, brand, production company. If you wanted to support us, the best way you can do that is to leave a 5-star review on this episode and subscribe to the show. If you're able to do that, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Selling your car shouldn't feel like a second job. It should feel easy. With Carvana, it is. Just visit Carvana.com, enter your license plate or VIN, answer a few quick questions, and get an offer in minutes. Like what you see? We'll pick it up right from your door and hand you your check. No haggling, no hassle, no problem. Car selling made easy on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
101 Part-Time Jobs is the name of the show. Mm-hmm. It's the whole thing that being in a band is kind of mad because...
Oh, yeah.
For so many reasons. Probably the first one being like the financial one.
Yeah, we've just had a big depressing meeting about all of this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Boy, do we have some news for you.
Oh, yeah, we're going to spill the beans.
What just happened?
It's difficult. So we just got off tour with Volbeat. We did 2 months in arenas and stadiums. You know, we played like Wembley here, the arena, and we got to the end of it, and like the fees were like much nicer than we would have had ever before, really. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, oh, cool, there'll be like a pot of money for it. We're all also unemployed because we had to quit our jobs to do the tour. And we found our profit is all stuck in withholding taxes across Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we're broke as fuck, and we just did 2 months in arenas. We also can't get a job because we're back on tour in March, so nowhere will hire us. So I'm currently... I'm just really laying it all bare here.
This is the place, yeah.
This is what it's like. And we're signed to a major. So, like, this is just crazy that this is what the music industry is like at the moment. I'm currently living off, like, $4,000 of my late mother's pension that I got at the end of last year that is, like, obviously rapidly running out. So it's kind of just, like... It's quite a depressing landscape at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like you can't plan. You can't really, like, your whole life is about planning. Yeah. Because you probably know where you're going to be playing in a year's time, but you don't know how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And where you're going to stay or how you're going to get back.
No, and the fees for shows very rarely cover this Volbeat tour that we've just done is, I think, the only tour we've done that has covered the cost of touring.
Yeah.
Basically.
How many tours have you done in total, like roughly?
More than 10.
Yeah.
Like big tours, yeah. I feel like we do a lot of like random one-off dates, but we've done at least 10 like full tours. Yeah,
we've done a fair few years of touring, and it's the fees are low, but the costs are getting higher and higher, and like obviously, like we're with Music for Nations on Sony, so they pay us tour support when we need it. So we have that privilege, which means that we can tour. We've been relying on that basically. Before Volbeat, we've relied on that tour support money to get us through the tours. But obviously we're a business and we have to pay, and obviously it's right for us to pay everyone that works for us first before we pay ourselves. So then we get to the end.
Yeah.
And it's a little shit.
So to like the Volbeat tour, if you take out PRS and publishing stuff, we will ultimately have made less than 2% of the initial fee is what we've been able to pay ourselves.
Wow.
Like just over 1% is like what we've actually taken home. Like I would literally earn more just like working, not even full-time, minimum wage.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucked up time to live for everyone.
Of course, yeah.
And maybe that's the one reconciliation of it.
I don't want people to be watching this and thinking like, oh,
We're so ungrateful.
Fucking hell, you've just done a 2-month arena tour. What are you talking about? Like, we obviously understand that we are very lucky to have been given the opportunity, and there's lots of bands that will never, you know, have the privilege of doing that also may be better bands than us anyway. Like, it feels difficult when you get home from the tour and you've got no money and it's not paying your rent, and like, I've got 2 degrees and I would like to do a PhD, but like I just don't have the money to
I also don't really like the rhetoric that it's like a privilege to like moan about it, because like there's no other profession that like has this kind of level of, there's just like no safeguarding for artists, and like we do work, you know.
it is hard.
And this whole thing of like doing it for the glory or exposure or whatever, like this, you know, when I was growing up as a kid and I was looking at bands and like I'd read The Enemy or whatever, and I was like, wow, and like I'm doing everything that I wanted to do, and then like, but I'm making, there's absolutely no financial kind of upkeep to it.
I think you'd rather not be complaining, right? It's not good. It's not fun to.
I don't need to be a multi-millionaire. I would just like to not to, you know.
It's got to be the only industry that's like built off like the people doing the work get paid the least.
And the industry is getting bigger, right? Like there's huge profits from like Live Nation, and like people are, you know, I know the records are a bit of a dying, like that's different, but like the live industry is like growing exponentially.
And streaming, like someone's getting that money. I mean, a lot of people aren't, but someone's got to be getting the cream of it.
Yeah, not us.
I really enjoyed how much you guys could laugh at yourselves when you did the end of year rap on your Instagram, and it was just like a slide that just kept on going of like just horrible.
See, here's the thing. I don't know whether every band that tours, this shit happens all the time, or whether we're just honest about it. Like
everyone I've spoken to has said like that for all of that to happen on one tour really is like quite unfortunate.
Honestly, that's just a Witch Fever tour, and it's not even like shit like that is. Like really chaotic things happen to us, and like on this Volbeat tour, it wasn't, for the most part, it was nothing to do with like we weren't misbehaving. We're very well behaved now. We've not always been, but like we, you know, we've got our shit together now at this point in our career, and oh god, just kept happening.
Like our lovely tour manager I just kept looking over, and he was just staring into space like, I was like, are you okay? And he was like, he's just trying.
Sort of feel like you're on like this sort of mad like 1700s like campaign into the wilderness. Like you're on a boat.
We had like
and you're together, and like it just things happen.
Yeah, we had like, there was a little whiteboard on the bus, and then we had like number of days since tour ending incident, and it like never got that much past 0.
We always kept having to put it back to 0 because more things kept happening.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
When these things happen, like not many other people are going through the type of experiences that you are. You hope you're going to come out the other side strengthened to it, right? Like, you know, like everything else is going to be below your pay grade.
To be fair, it has like built up my resilience to bullshit like a lot. Because you just kind of have to, I think that's also just the nature of being in any kind of freelance work, like as well, with not that much security. You've just got to let things just wash over you. Right, this is happening.
What have you done like between tours? Look, you've been about for 10 years, 2026. It's been 10 years of Witch Fever.
It's terrifying.
We're so old.
But you started young.
We did start young, yeah.
What do you do between tours and between like making records? I mean, 10 years is a long time to do anything. For at least like, for a long period of that, like we're working out who you are, what you're trying to do, what you think about yourself, you know, what you think you want to sound like. I suppose really it's like a question of like prioritizing art.
When we were first in the band, like all of us were kind of still finishing up uni and stuff. Amy went back and did her masters,
and then COVID hit.
And then COVID, so obviously, that
took a chunk out of our potential progress.
Yeah, and then all of us just do like bartending or hospitality or you know, whatever's like flexible enough. Our drummer Annabelle did have a proper job working with a record label, but they had to quit because they couldn't they weren't flexible enough.
Yeah.
And that was not even that heavy into us touring, you know?
No.
When you hear that, or I think when people listen to this, they probably think, oh, like, well, it probably doesn't matter because you knew that you had this other thing that you wanted to do, which might be true, but did it feel like uncertain? Just because you've decided you want to prioritize the band doesn't bring about any kind of like stability.
Yeah.
Probably the opposite, right?
Yeah, I think we were quite lucky because we signed kind of over COVID. Like Julie came to a gig like literally just before COVID hit. And then I think like in that period where like we weren't gigging or whatever, we kind of still had like stuff running in the background. Like we knew when stuff was opened up again, then we would have something to work towards.
Right.
Because I know like so many bands that just like never really came back after COVID.
And that's a huge success. Like Julie Weir, Music for Nations, she's worked with so many incredible bands for like a long time. So to have someone that in your corner, that must have been a huge push up. Be like, oh, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
This is a W.
And that's when we were young and full of hope and thought signing with a major meant that we'd all be able to quit our jobs on the spot. And
That's it. It's just different to what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Did you talk about that immediately with the label where, did they let you know, like, by the way, you're not going to buy houses right away?
Well,
Was there
they
that
don't
discussion?
even know. This is the thing, because it's like they, like now a label contract, maybe like 20 years ago, a label contract comes with a huge advance and comes with maybe comes with a wage and stuff like that. And now major contracts just aren't the same. You get an advance. We have,
but the advances we've had have only ever been like, none of that's been for us as like personal
Right.
spending
It's been to
money.
make
It's
the
always
record.
been always been for recording or whatever,
Well, the record sounds wicked.
Thank you.
Chris Ryan, is he the
Hell
producer?
yeah.
I googled it. I was like, who produced FEVEREATEN? Because it sounds so rad. Just Mustard, he did. I love that. Just Mustard, the new record, well, all their records. But
Chris is our favourite.
He's the best.
Yeah.
how did you meet him, and like, how did you decide on him? Because the sound of your record is like a huge, massive question. You don't know every producer out there. You might live next to a producer, but you don't know who they are or what they do.
So Tom from the label suggested Chris, I think. I think like Tom was into, Just Mustard, like Chalk or whoever.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got on a call with him. There were conversations with a few people, but like the second we actually like spoke to him, like the vibe just felt so right. Like he's so like he's like one of the girls,
He's
like, I think,
great.
Yeah, especially like, recording as like women and non-binary people, especially when we were younger, can feel a little intimidating. And I think like it can be a bit gatekeepy with some older producers. And like, we're not the most like tech savvy, but I think with Chris, like there's a real playfulness and a real like comfort to be like, yes, queen, like try out the thing,
He's just so excited to be in the room doing it. He just truly loves it. So yeah, it was really refreshing.
There is something about like, call it goth or like just darker music or whatever, that has that androgynous feel about it. I imagine you have to be in like a safe space in order to just kind of be yourself.
Yeah, like we had so much fun doing the record as well. It's weird because we're not necessarily making like fun music. I think there's elements of it on the record, but I think you kind of hear like that there's some like silly bits where Amy's just like, like going like woo or whatever, and like that wasn't intentionally recorded for that purpose, but we kind of were like, oh, that's actually really fun. And I feel like there was a real like playfulness around it,
I always think you can hear that on a record. I know it sounds probably a bit cheesy to say, but I think you can feel or hear and feel it when people are enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
There are just some records you're like, you can't put your finger on it, but there's something good about, and even though it might be like sad-ish music, we all know that feeling of having your headphones on and just being like stomping around, or just like being in your bed being like, fuck. That feels good. That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
And like the first record we did it in like the whole thing in like a week and a half. Like Sam, who we recorded with, was like so great, but we were on a real time crunch. Like none of it's even to a click.
First album.
Yeah.
Congregation.
We did like no pre-production. Like we were still kind of half writing some stuff when we were in there. And I think this one, like, Chris came up for a week beforehand and we got to like get to know each other a bit better and like organize things. And like, I think when there's a bit more structure, you can have more fun within that, because you're not just like panicking the whole time that you're not going to get it done.
Do you notice after 10 years or longer, because you've been playing your instruments longer than that, like, do you see yourself getting better at playing?
I hope so.
I think so. Yeah, I feel like definitely in terms of songwriting, I think I tried to challenge myself with this record, like picking up the cello again and stuff, and then like have a real thing.
Do you have one at home?
No, I got one for my birthday. But I have a real thing with because it's obviously we just have one guitarist and me playing bass. Like I never ever want me and Alicia to be playing really the same thing, unless it's like we're doing like a halftime like sludgy riff or something. But I'm like, we cannot play the same note ever, you know?
Big time. Do you think of playing bass as like almost like playing the guitar?
I think because there's only one guitarist, like it kind of has to exist like that way. Like I feel like kind of a lot of the songs on the last album kind of started with the bass riff, and then we worked everything out around that. I
love it when you get like a bass riff that's like quite high up the neck, and it always sounds guitar-y, and you could sing it. It's kind of like high enough to kind of sing along to. That's a good feeling. I often see people on stage talking about Sudan, talking about Palestine, and yes, like stop murdering people, let people live, let communities, let people exist. It's still a brave thing to do, even though that's common sense. It's still a very brave thing to be on a microphone in front of a room full of people and say that, knowing that you're going to get hate.
So at the start I was nervous about it because I truly did not know how people were going to react, especially in countries that I'd never been to before. I'm not familiar with their like political landscape at the moment. So that made me nervous. I did it a couple shows and I was fine after that. It just became easier and easier the more I did it. I think there's far too many people that have platforms, have way bigger platforms than we do, that say nothing and try and keep out of politics because they want to get as many fans as they can. And that's just not what I want, how I want to live my life. And like for the rest of the band, like it's the same. Like we all want to be using this platform to some extent to you know, speak up for people and be a voice for people, and also like keep listening and educating ourselves and learning more and making this band more than just, because really we're just musicians. We love playing music, we love playing shows, that's why we're doing it. We don't want to be politicians, but it's a big part of my life, particularly just like reading and learning more and trying to be a better person. So I just think that's why I feel like I don't have a choice. I have to do that. Just
everyone has a platform.
Exactly.
You have a platform to your friends. You have a platform to that person at work.
It was interesting with the Volbeat tour because we had a lot of like, you know, I think their demographic isn't our normal one. It's kind of older, more like male. There was a lot of like, oh, music, not politics. You know, like a lot of people, they were like, oh, didn't pay for a political rant. What Amy said was so diplomatic and carefully executed. Like, you know, honestly, it was so clean and like
compared to like stuff that I would say at like Outbreak and stuff, where I think that it would have been widely received better. Like I was so, because it's such a big room and you don't, especially with the Palestine stuff, you like there is some nuance that's needed for people that maybe don't know as much as you about the situation. And like I was very clear about us asking for a free Palestine, but also, you know, demanding that.
You're trying to remember the lines.
I get panicky about it, thinking it.
Do not tolerate like anti-Semitism.
Not tolerating anti-Semitism. And because people conflate the two, and even that, it got bad reaction. We had like Nazi salutes and stuff. People throwing up Nazi salutes.
Worse in the UK though. It was England, and the venues were a lot more apprehensive in England as well. Like our tour manager said that he had to have like safety meetings and stuff. Like there were like absolutely no flags. Like whereas like Europe was actually more relaxed, which I found interesting. But,
when it starts to become like being a human is like a controversial thing. You're like, okay, like we do have a job here, like we have a responsibility here.
Like the crux of what Amy was saying is genocide is bad. Like
genocide is bad.
Really
Fascism
was.
is bad. Everyone deserves safety and a home. That was literally it. And I got booed.
I do believe some of it came from the fact that we're a younger band, you're a woman, and it's like it was older men, and they like don't want the political lecture of someone that they don't like have they don't really respect anyway.
Should be a conversation. Like, not everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
So you got to listen to each other, have empathy, and like speak to each other. Communication. I think that's where positive change comes from.
Yeah, I think as well when you're on stages that big, like people don't really see you as a human being anymore, and people don't see you as like you're not an equal. There's like a power dynamic there that then, obviously we have the upper hand in the power dynamic, but people are quicker to like be very like confrontational or aggressive towards you, or to like not see you like just where you're at. You know,
like the in real life version of like Twitter or something, where you just like
literally,
shouting, but you're a human being. You're receiving that information.
But then the thing is, so the guy in Wembley there was a few people that were on the barrier shouting at me that I clapped back at, and there was at Wembley the guy repeatedly screaming "fuck off." I turned round to him and said, I can't remember what I said. I was like, whoever's repeatedly screaming "fuck off, shut the fuck up, I have the microphone." And it was silence. He didn't carry on because it's like you suddenly realise, and everyone in the room cheered, and he suddenly realises like, oh my god, you can actually hear me.
Yeah.
No way.
You are sensational at a clapback. You really are.
I can be confrontational and like deal with an argument well with like people that I don't know that are being like dickheads, but when it's like my friends and my family, I crumble. I can't do it all. I hate
it. When you start music, you do it for fun. At some point you realise, actually we have responsibility here, we can make positive change. It's about community. It sounds quite earnest when you're young to talk about that. But the older I get, the more I speak to my mates about it. I'm like, oh, do you know what? It's really important that we do these things and communicate. And if someone says something that's a little bit, call your friend out. That's like a really positive way to live. But when you're in your 20s or so, it can be a bit too earnest, maybe a bit too on the nose. Have you like matured quite a lot about like being in this band and like being friends with each other and talking to each other about these sorts of things, whether it's politics or whether it's like humanity stuff or real life stuff?
Politically, we rarely. There's nuances of things, you know, but I think we're like all know that we're all on the same wavelength with it. I think like, actually, the last tour we did was the first tour where we didn't really have many fallouts. I mean, you had a little blip on the last night, but it was so minor. I think we're a lot better at.
It's a relationship, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you argue with
even closer than sisters. Do you know what I mean? Like we know you spent 2 months on living with someone 24/7. I think we're a lot better at trying not to push each other's buttons now,
because you know whose buttons and where they are,
and they're so easy to find. You know.
But the thing is, we all each know as well, like there's certain buttons that you can press that is like a little bit touchy, but like also it's fine. And then there's some like, for example, Alicia knows, like Alicia does stuff with Annabelle, like they're boisterous, they jump on each other, they like piss each other off. Alicia knows not to fuck with me in that way because I get so overwhelmed. So there is stuff like that as well where we're different when we communicate with each other in different ways well.
You know, me and Alicia probably butt heads the most out of anyone in the band. It's always it's always like something
you can
stupid.
Say it.
But on this tour,
it'd be worse if you couldn't say it.
We had a system where if one of us said something we didn't like, we'd go apologize, and like honestly,
it works so well.
I think because then you make a joke of it, and because it's never a big thing. It's just someone said something that like maybe is like a bit snarky or it's like rubbed someone up the wrong way, and like addressing it and letting it dissipate immediately. Really, really, like I was like, we've cracked this now. Like,
it's so cool in like a bigger picture, zooming out a bit. Like, it's so cool that you have that relationship with each other, and that like that friendship, and that you've made these 2 amazing full albums, bunch of great EPs. It's like that's so like what other better thing? Could you do in life?
You're kind of forced to confront like facets of yourself that maybe you're like. I know I can be a bit difficult. Like I know I can be a bit particular about things or a bit type A, and like I kind of have to. I really feel what I feel, but I'm like, I have 3 other people. It really is like a democracy, you know, and you really do have to like sometimes like compromise and like swallow your pride. We all ground each other, I think.
I think it's important to say on this show, like people watching this, people listen to this, a lot of people play in bands. And it's a good reminder that like being in a band is probably is one of the coolest things you could do, like coolest way to see places, to experience new things. Yeah, awesome. Good job. I mean, well done, because it's fucking hard.
Yeah. It is hard, but it's also like I don't know, it feels like we'd be idiots not to.
Well, like, what else would I do?
Continue.
You know what I mean, I
with
can't
it.
even comprehend like this not being. It's like I think for all of us, it's like unfathomably always being what we wanted to do. So
Yeah, because when we're in hard spots, sometimes I do think like, oh, I could just be working in like a publisher's, reading books, and I could have like a good pension, and I could have a good salary, and all this, and then I'm like, but really, would I look back and think maybe I should have just
you want to
stuck
be
out?
on the bus crash in Zurich.
I do.
You want to have to leave all your suitcases behind.
This is the thing.
But
it's the being on stage. Like the writing music is great, and I love writing music, and I get so much out of it. But being on stage and performing it, I just find so like helpful for like my mental health in a way that nothing else is.
Yeah.
That is just it's great.
I was talking about this with my family actually over Christmas, because my brother's in the army, and he's like always wanted to be in the army. Like we're polar opposites, like really close, but my parents are very grateful that both me and him have always at least had like a direction or like a clear passion, you know? Like I think there couldn't be anything worse than just like not having anything that really like excites you, or
also,
you really want to push yourself to do.
People like maybe don't have that. It's like no fault of their own.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, maybe you don't work out what you want to. I think that's like a really difficult thing.
Yeah.
Especially in our generation, because you leave school and like you can go to uni and borrow all this money. You know, you can go traveling if you've kind of saved up or given enough cash. But then after that, like, what do you really do?
Yeah.
You know, after you stop borrowing or being given money, then what do you do?
Yeah, that's the thing. And as well, like there's probably like lots of bands that, like for us, it was one of my dreams to do an arena tour, and we've done it, and it's probably the same for a lot of other bands. And it's like it's as much as it, going back to what we were talking about earlier, as much as it is difficult, the financial situation, like I still did that. Like that's kind of mental.
I think it's spoken about more now, but like the reintegrating and like the highs and lows, like coming back off that tour is like really hard.
That's been hard.
It's really hard. I feel like I had like a few days where I was like, oh, I don't need to look at anyone. I don't need to do anything. But then like, you know, I'd gone 2 months waking up with people, going to sleep with people, having my entire day structured. That's and also doing amazing shows. Like even if you remove the shows, but just like this constant like rhythm that you get into that's so isolated from the rest of the world. Like you really are in like it's like a whole other little bubble, you know? And like coming back from that and trying to like function as a human being again is like really challenging.
You got to look after your mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole world say it's like a cultural thing, but I mean, playing music and having those ups and downs, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I think we operate in a way that like on tour, like we do all really look after each other. I think like, you know, my mental health generally is like a much stronger on tour.
Yeah.
Like despite, you know, there's more things to navigate and it's more challenging for like people, but I think like we're very lucky that like we really do look after ourselves, and like we can all tell when something's like up, you know? Do you like lose that support almost when you come off tour a bit? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, amazing to chat. Love the band. It's so sick. Like I feel like there's a good time for the sound as well. Like I think like people are getting into shoegaze. Shoegaze is always gonna have its moments, right?
It's crazy that we've done like a shoegaze album.
I'm the biggest shoegaze fan ever.
It
like Slow Down, my favorite band, and I've just subtly I've gone like, why just put some more reverb on it. Do it.
That's cool because like Slow Dive are playing shows.
Yeah.
You know, there are these opportunities to be amongst that, to be on festival bills, to support them.
Hey, Slow Dive.
Well, we did. They played after us at Outbreak. I never, ever thought, ever growing up, that I'd play with Slow Dive, especially in like a heavy band. But yeah.
I remember when American football came back and we started playing shows. It's like, I couldn't even imagine. I think, okay, the truth is some bands who live forever in your memory is sort of like that, you know, frozen in time thing. Maybe it's never going to be as good as that. But other bands can be better.
Yeah.
Yep,
Slow Dive was amazing.
Bigger now than they ever were in the 90s, right? Like, yeah. I saw like a TikTok mashup song of theirs, and it was really depressing. But I was like, good for them.
Yeah.
They're
Enjoy it. TikTok's the way that people.
Yeah.
Have you had a TikTok moment?
A couple, but it's mainly like it's not content that we've spent hours making and crafting. It's like Annabelle jiggling Alex's tits.
Okay.
2.2 million views on Reels.
It's me putting maggots in my mouth for a music video.
Okay.
Or it's like...
It's never for the right thing.
Can you at least put your music on it so people are hearing the tunes?
The maggot one did.
The maggot one had our music on, but it didn't translate over to like TikTok, Spotify. It just like...
It's just loads of people going, oh my God.
I can't believe she put maggots. Vile.
We're that band where that girl put maggots in her mouth.
Who is she? Is she okay? There's just loads of comments of people saying that I should get therapy. And I'm like, bitch, I know.
I've been trying for years.
Literally.
Last question. You know, people work loads of different types of jobs. You've got 2 degrees. What are some of your biggest, I just want this day to end.
Oh God,
This has been a bad...
Every day at work is a day I want to end.
Yeah, I was a chef at Yes in Manchester for 5 years. I absolutely hated it. I just got trapped in it because I couldn't find anywhere else to hire me that would accept my touring schedule. And literally nearly every single shift I was having a panic attack. That was not a career. Just
because you had too much on?
It was just complete chaos, understaffed, really stressful. Yeah, so shout out, yes. I'm never coming back, bitch.
Yeah, I worked in a bar in Northern Quarter, and I worked all of the Oasis pre-party stuff, and that was the worst week of my entire life. I was having like stress dreams about like men in Stone Island and bucket hats. It was horrendous. I saw you afterwards one day, didn't I? And I was literally like...
it's like you'd been to war.
Yeah, I felt like that.
That's how it felt like Yes. Well, it was like a busy shift. It was like I'd been to war. I also used to work
at Yes on the bar years beforehand, and it was just like, it's not healthy. I see why you can't sustain a career doing that for long, yeah.
And the city like central of Manchester, I mean like Northern Quarter, it's kind of mad. Like people go for it more so than, it's sort of like in my mind, Liverpool, Manchester and Cardiff are the cities where people really like love drinking.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to party a lot at work and stuff, and then like now I'm like I'd like drive to work, and everyone's like, "Oh, are you gonna party?" And I was like, "No, I want to go home." And they're like, "Oh, that's not very rock and roll." And I was like, "I am doing gigs though. Like I am actually. I just want to go to bed." Yeah,
I mean that raises a good point, because playing in bands, you are always going to be given like beers and just like booze generally.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, you just said there, but have you had that moment where you're like, okay, if I drink less, then maybe I can play better?
Well,
Amy's never drank.
I'm sober. I've never been drunk. So I'm always annoyed about the constant being paid in beers. At the start of our career, that's how we were paid.
We've really matured in that way. Like we did a tour a few years ago, and like me and Alicia had a bottle of Prosecco each on the rider. Not much. Well, she was not much what was ever spared. I really never drink before a gig now.
Yeah.
Like I will drink afterwards sometimes, but I'm also like, I get really travel sick. I'm not good at being hungover, so like not touring now. I've got my head screwed on pretty straight. I think I can always like look after myself. But yeah, you do because I used to think it's that thing, isn't it, where you think like a couple of drinks, like you'll play better, you'll be more loose or whatever. Like the thought of if I fuck up because I'm sober and it's an accident, it's fine, it happens. If I fucked up because I was drunk, I'd be really mad at myself.
Yeah, because it's avoidable, right?
Yeah.
And like you can get pissed when you're at home.
Yeah.
What is like the job of being in Witch Fever now? Like what is, if you could kind of distill that into like a sentence?
I think I'm just like the expert trauma dumper, honestly.
You're definitely the admin leader.
I'm like the leader of like getting things together and sorted and doing the emails and the accounts and all that bullshit.
Okay.
Oh, my title is Chief Schmoozer, actually, isn't it? I'm the...
You're the networker.
I am the networker, yes.
Alex is the person at events that needs to be the networker. I get really overwhelmed and frustrated and I hate it. So I'm like the admin guy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of networking in being in a band, like sticking your hand out and being like, hey, I'm Alex, I'm in Witch Fever.
Yeah.
Can I play that gig?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially in the early days.
For me.
Yeah.
Lovely to chat. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I appreciate you.
Nice one. Hell yeah. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Cool. Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Laura Mabry of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.